it gives me hope. And boy, oh boy, was I wrong about you, Marshall. I'm a dumbass. In fact, I should stand on a table and ask everybody, who's a cunt? And then I would have to say me. Boy, oh boy, was I wrong about you, but it's good. I'm glad we had this discussion.
My behavior led to that equation too. It was not all you. I definitely responded to you in ways that were not respectful.
Yeah,
so it takes two to tango.
What's wrong with y'all niggas?
Be quiet, Jacobus.
Jacobus walked in, and then you think,
I walked
people
in,
have evolved, but you're still a Neanderthal. You know what it is? We can all change. Jacobus, everyone can change, but you'll be stupid forever.
You will forever be a
Jacobus, people can't compliment each other. They can't compliment each other.
You getting a thrill
at
of
all.
that shit.
We can't allow that to happen.
Just jealous, Melissa. He's just jealous.
It's okay. Someone's gonna compliment you one day, Jacobus.
Melissa,
don't hold your breath. Why don't you go make me a sandwich, Jacobus? Go make yourself useful.
This is not prison. You need to go back.
What? I went to prison for smoking weed. I've never raped anyone. I don't steal.
Damn.
Yeah, I went to. I mean, am I proud that I went to? Am I proud that I went to jail in Morocco for smoking weed? Absolutely not. It cost me a lot. But you know what? I was man enough to smoke it, and I was man enough to do my time.
How long did they give you?
Yeah, how long were you in jail for smoking weed?
I got 7 years, but luckily I only. Yeah, but luckily the king's son turned 5 years old, and all foreigners in Morocco that were in prison, they were pardoned. So luckily I only spent a year, but my original sentence was 7 years.
Man.
And I lived in a small little cell. In that cell, I don't know how much that is in feet, but in metric, it was 5 meters by 5 meters, and we had to live there. I had to live there with 40 other men. No, nothing. No food from the girl. What's that?
Did you learn to speak Moroccanian?
They speak Arab. I do. Daba, Shwi Arabia. Shwiya. Femtini. A little bit.
You see, you sound like a Berber. You sound like a Berber already.
Well, it was in the north of Morocco, so that's where the Berbers live. Yeah.
Is prison, is it lame? Do you gotta fight a lot?
Yes. Because there were a lot of foreigners there.
Wait, so you have to fight a lot?
Yes, there were a lot of foreigners there, so because the Moroccan government didn't want to, because the food wasn't really fit for human consumption, so prisoners were allowed to cook, so everybody was allowed to have a knife for so-called cooking purposes. And I'm talking about the sociopaths, the psychopaths, them too, yeah? What I did learn in prison, I learned what a truly wicked man I can be. And I promised myself, if I leave this jail, I'm going to change my life around. And that was in 2007, 2009, I got released. Touch wood, never been in trouble since. I think that was what I needed. Because, I've been picking up hashish from Morocco and taking it to Europe, for many years.
Was that the last time you had booty?
No, look, at the end of the day, no man is going to have sex with me because the simple reason I'm not attracted to men and I'm nobody's bend over boy. No, that's never going to happen. And they did try that, but they found out.
To go through.
You know what it is, dude? If you play, you pay. So now I know what not to do. And because I went through that.
He played first and then he don't want to play no more. He just told you.
You just pray for the molesters because you look like you needed to be molested.
Can somebody please translate to me what Butcher is saying?
Wait, a real one.
No. Can someone please translate what Butcher is saying to me because I don't speak Alabama country too.
Yes.
What COVID? What are you talking about?
Not COVID.
Okay.
Just had it for the one.
SARS?
No. It's M1 whatever H1. I might.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's like it goes away, then it comes back, and you think you're gonna get better, but you don't. It's crazy.
Yeah. You gotta eat right. You gotta sleep. It's the only way to really fight something like that.
It's been fucking 2 weeks now, though. It's giving me
2 weeks.
2 weeks. It's insane.
How much weight have you lost?
You know, I have lost weight, actually.
Yep. You know, you're not eating. You're probably not drinking enough, too. Yeah.
Kind of one of those things, but like it's a constant
But they
thing
can't.
for these people.
They can't leave it alone. Look at Madonna. She's turned into a freak.
Well, even just constant filler, that ends up.
Pale skinned mud.
Pills, and what are you? So what? So I'm not black. So what? I'm not black like you. I'm not black like you because my forehead doesn't begin at the back of my neck. I'm not black like you because I don't have purple gum. I'm not black because I can't peel an orange with my feet like you can. Fuck you.
Your gums are bleeding right now.
Yeah, fuck you.
Chill.
Hold on, Ariel. It says material support. You should look into it. I think you're having a problem about there's a comprehension issues. We don't provide training in this room.
You just read.
Hold on, NSM, hold on, brother. We don't provide training. We don't provide
Never said
funding.
that you did. Hold on.
Look, you keep coming off the mic. You need to mute up.
I never
Learn to
said
mute up.
that you did these things.
Oh my
You're
God! I have to
talking
keep
about me.
muting you. I can't believe it. I have to babysit you every time you come into my room. I let you speak, so you stay muted. Don't get triggered. Okay? Look into the definition. According to Google Baba, it talks about training.
I read the definition. You're saying shit that doesn't need to be said. I got.
Oh my God! So when we
What
talk
you're
about the
suggesting has
resistance,
already been done. Move on to something.
oh my God, Ariel. So,
I think he's
when you come
conceding,
up-
Amir. Is he conceding? Because he didn't read
What you're
everything. That's what he
suggesting
said.
has already been done. Move on to something else. You misunderstood.
It
my
means
question,
it
like
means
you want me
it
to.
means it means you lost. It
You
means you're
misunderstood
acknowledging.
my. You
Hold on, it
misunderstood my
means you
question. Like you normally do.
acknowledge that you're mentally retarded.
You misunderstood my question.
Oh
as you
my
normally
God!
do.
This
You
guy
resort
is
to ad
coming up with
hominem.
these claims.
You resort to ad
Smack him,
hominem
bro! Hurry up and smack him.
because you're a low vibrational human being.
This guy
And you can
needs
have
to
a
be
conversation
smacked.
about insults.
I wish his dad would have slapped him in the face like a bitch slap. By now he would have been okay. But he never got slapped in the face.
Why would you say that?
Because sometimes parents need to slap their kids for real, like
Yeah,
spank
but
them.
like,
in your life, bro. That's why you're talking upside.
why would you say that?
Oh,
Because you never got slapped. You're a little brat. You were a little brat back in the days, and that's what happened.
Okay, but how is that going to further our conversation?
Further our conversation, you need to be slapped really hard, like a bitch slap, not a actual slap, like a.
That way you'll know how to talk to
But
people.
how is that going to
That way
further
you know how
our
to talk to people.
conversation?
You're the one who said they should move on. You said Amir should move on. You don't want to further the conversation
You
because he
conceded to
checked
the
you.
point.
You dunked on yourself as per usual. Honestly, guys, the amount of times this guy self-snitches and self-dunks on himself has to be studied. What an idiot.
Okay, great. So how is that going
He's
to
the
move our
biggest idiot.
conversation forward? Great. How is that going to move our conversation?
Don't come up here and make such stupid claims about,
I mean, I
oh,
literally
you support
just
terrorists,
I literally
they can
just
lock you
did.
up. I just
literally
gave you
just
data.
did. I
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
just did, and now you can either.
Are you retracting from the statement? Are you retracting the statement?
What was the statement that I made?
You said we, right? Since we support Hamas, right? Our citizenship could be taken away. Our this could be taken away. We could be locked up. Bullshit. Like a gay faggot motherfucker you are, right? Like a bunch of claims you made. You come up here, you do make claims every single day. Like I have to literally babysit you. Like you
What do my
stupid
political
bitch
claims
ass.
have to
For
do
real.
with my sexual orientation?
Stupid fucktard, man. Stupid fucktard.
What do my political views have to do with my
Okay,
sexual
fucktard.
orientation?
Carry on what you have to say. Every time you open your mouth, there's a fucking diarrhea that comes out of you. Disgusting, filthy.
Amir, are you okay?
I think you might be gay, is what he's saying there.
Oh,
I got that.
faggot? I didn't even know that.
Amir's crashing out. Amir, what's wrong? What's wrong?
People like you exist.
Faggot, man. You're a faggot.
No, hello.
Are you a fucking faggot, brother? Are you a faggot? It seems like you are. It seems like you're relaxed on a bus.
Question: how would you know as to whether or not I'm a faggot unless I've actually bent you over?
He even said
How
it.
would you know?
By saying things like
I can prove it. I can prove it. I have evidence. He was chasing after Black Rabbi like a little bitch he is, right? He likes to chase after black men inside Israel. One day, Black Rabbi was eating food at his restaurant, and guess what? Ariel located him using his Instagram, found out his location, and went over to the location with his fucking phone, with the phone, whatever cheap phone that he carries around, because and he was hungry at the same time. He's like, okay, I can record him and get something to eat from Black Rabbi. And Black Rabbi said yes, he felt he was hungry when he showed up with the camera.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, that's what Black Rabbi said.
Okay.
I am very unfortunate to
Let me
hear
put
from
the video in the chat so you guys can watch it. Thank you.
How does this video prove that I'm a homosexual? That's what I'm interested in.
Hold on, Ariel, it's really
I
sad.
put the video in the chat. Please do watch it.
But how
Thank
does
you.
it prove? But how does it prove that I'm
You
homosexual?
chasing after another black person with a camera. Why would you
I'm
do
chasing.
that?
I'm chasing after him because I want to have sex with him.
Yep. Nothing. And he's like, you're a pedophile, you're a rapist. He's trying to back you out. He's like pushing you around. He's like, get lost.
But I'm chasing him because I want to have sex with him.
You're
That's what
chasing
saying.
after his asshole. That's what you were.
So I'm chasing after him because I want to have sex with him.
Yep. He called you a rapist. In the video, he called you a rapist. So I don't know, man. I don't know what you were gonna do with Black Rabbi.
Yeah, but why would I be chasing him around with the camera because I want to have sex with him? Make that make sense to me.
Maybe you're an exhibitionist. We don't know. Maybe you're freaky like that.
Yeah, fetish,
But how does me chasing him with a camera allude to the fact that I'm homosexual? How does that work?
We don't have to have evidence. We know it from your voice. You are a faggot. Look, you are a black person. Supporting Israel.
Not a black person.
That's what we do. Have you lesson from a fucking Martin Luther King? Have you learned anything for the oppression for the minorities? The buses, when you guys black people cannot fucking go to the same school? Have you learned anything from that? And you go, oh, I am pro-Israel, I love Israel. Are you idiot?
Is he a black?
You're eating and a fucking faggot. You're eating and a faggot at the same time. This is wrong. I don't follow your point, man. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, what could honestly make you think that anything that you said?
Why are you gay, Ari? Why are you gay? Why are you gay?
He said pick a struggle in ethnic. That's what that was. He said you can't be both.
Okay. Why does my life hurt your feelings?
I'm sorry you're that sensitive.
Do you have a state yet? Do you have a state yet?
No idea why anyone keeps talking to this guy. I have no clue why Amir
He's
keeps
just our
talking to this
content,
guy.
Master. He's just a punching bag. We need
Content
we
from
need a
what?
break time. You know, we need a break time from all talking to a whole bunch of Zionists. A Samsung guy, he killed a whole bunch of my brain cells today. And then that Yuho guy, oh my God, that was another brain cells killer. He killed my brain cells, and then I think, thank God, Brother Fayaz and Ace jumped in, and they're like,
We don't
okay,
care
let
what
me
you're
give them
thinking. Shut
example.
the fuck up.
I'm still trying to figure out how to give a gold page.
Think in silence, sharpish.
I don't think you guys are like.
Think
Why are
in
you
silence.
gay? Why are you gay? Why are you gay? Why are you gay?
I'm not a homosexual. as
Why
much
are
as
you
like
gay?
to be.
Why are you chasing after Black Rabbi? Why are you gay? Why are you gay?
Why don't you
I put
ask
the
it?
video in the chat. Why are you gay? Why inside Israel? You take a flight, right, from Detroit, Michigan, all
What are you
the
talking
way
about?
to Israel. That's 6,000 miles away or 5,000 miles away. And you get over there, right? You fall in love with Black Rabbi. You get emotionally attached to him, and he actually gets married to an actual woman. And guess what happens? He parts ways with you. He does not want to spend time with you anymore. So you decided to, like, turn his life into hellhole because he married to an actual woman instead of marrying you.
Yeah, that makes
That's what
sense.
happened. And Black Rabbi said there was an emotional attachment. You were attached to it. You did things together. You were holding hands together. You went to the beach together. You drank coffee together. You ate food together. You did a whole bunch of activities together.
Amir, why are you making all of this up?
Yeah, and you had to do it inside Israel. You're like, this is my homeland, even though it's a stolen land by from the indigenous people. I'm just gonna do everything in this land, and because it's already enough corruption in the land, I'll just I'll add more to it, by doing what I'm doing.
Amir,
Because
why are you making this up?
okay, make it make sense. Why haven't you found a girl yet?
Okay, Amir, like I tell you all the time.
Just be honest. Why?
I'm being very honest.
It's no game.
Like I tell you all the time, I don't come here to discuss my personal life. I come here to discuss the title of the
Yep. Why haven't you found a girl yet? Tell the room.
I don't come here to discuss.
I was worried about you last week. I'm like, I gotta find you. Let me see if I can find another Israeli woman, to find maybe she can get married to you.
Probably because he won't get the blessing of his family.
I don't come here to discuss my personal life. I come here to discuss the title of the room. What part of that do you not understand?
Ariel, why are you so idiot?
Why are you here? Let's talk to the new person. We have Soul here. Welcome Soul and welcome Lee.
Amir is so dumb.
He's a dumbass. He's a dumbass. We allow dumbass, criminals, terrorists on the stage. We allow mental retards. A whole bunch of people is allowed here. Welcome Soul. Ariel, just mute up. I need to have a conversation with you people now. Soul, welcome. Are you there?
Are you gonna ask them about their sexuality?
Hold on, mute up, Ariel, mute up.
I'm here. I'm interested to find out who this Black Rabbi is.
I put the link in the chat. Soul, check it out. Ariel chase after him inside Israel.
No. Why is he called the Black Rabbi is what I want to know.
That's his name.
His name is Black Rabbi?
Yeah. On this app, his name is Black Rabbi.
Why is there black in it? Why not just Rabbi?
I asked him that. He said no.
Because he believes that black people are stupid, and he's trying to impress them.
Nope. That's Ariel's understanding. Black Rabbi is a very respectful person. Please don't take anything from Ariel. They had an altercation because apparently Black Rabbi left Ariel. He got married to an actual woman. Please check out the video. So it's in the chat. Did you check out the video?
Yeah. I don't really care about garbage or anything. I don't care about people's lives. I don't care about.
No, but I care. So I care.
There's way too much going on in the world to care about other people's personal business. I really don't care.
So it's happening in the occupied land. It's happening in the stolen land that was stolen from the indigenous people. How could we not care?
Say now,
about a person being gay?
Yeah, no, by a person that took a flight from Detroit, Michigan, for 6,000 miles away to Israel, where he has no business in, right? He's living in a stolen property, and that property belonged to a Palestinian, and he said he bought that property from the Israeli government for $50,000 or 60,000 shekels or some shit. How much was your property here?
My house that I paid.
You will notice some amazing.
60,000 USD.
That's what I said, 60,000 US dollars.
And Ariel,
You literally just hit 50,000. You literally just said 50,000.
you're lying. You're
My
lying.
bad, my bad.
You're lying.
Your
Ariel,
ego
you're lying. We
has
know.
about as much
because
control over what goes
you
on.
know and I know you're lying.
child sitting next to its father. Is that because you would like for me to be your charity case? You want
Death is
to
an annihilation in consciousness.
No, you're just lying.
You're going to realize
You're lying.
that
You know you're
happiness was
lying.
never.
We know you're lying.
You're upset. You're upset. Who said
So
that it was in
you
Jerusalem?
bought a house in Jerusalem for $60,000, huh?
Who said that it was in Jerusalem?
Where is it? Where is
He's
it?
a
Where?
early settler, he's a settler that was around Reading and stuff. Did you have your...
Ariel is a lost soul from Detroit. He's such a loser in Detroit. He found,
There's a difference. I don't know who you kidding. There's a difference, man.
Smart people, and people are really smart, and they think it's always one of them. And you know, the problems that we do is struggle. And
Listen, what are you talking about? Stay on mute.
Master,
Right.
I'm not sure when you say stuff. I'm not sure if you're talking, saying stuff, or you're just taking a dump. Which one is it?
no, if you give me a second, I will finish it. Okay, no, all of you.
You sound like you're defecating. You're not fucking saying anything.
Ariel? Ariel?
Give me a second. Give me a second.
Hello?
No, he does not.
Ariel?
Yes, ma'am.
What is your stance with it about Israel?
I live in Israel. I support Israel. If we have any enemies, fuck them all, kill them all.
So,
Why? What
so
do you
he
not though?
has killed 13 Palestinians, he has beaten up one Palestinian child, he's a border patrol. I can put a video in the chat for you so you can check it out.
What is your question? Other people are trying to answer for me. I don't know why, but what's your question?
Why your support for Israel? Why is that?
Because I live here. I'm not gonna live in Israel. I'm not gonna live in Israel and support, I don't know, Guatemala or Palestine, whatever it is.
How long have you lived in Israel?
Almost 10 years.
How many warrants do you have in Detroit?
Zero.
Are you sure?
What they're really
doing is just getting a drug dopamine feedback loop by running the fucking mouth talking about fucking nothing. So this all I think she's doing
you made my point. You made my point, bitch.
I said, can you stop? Please. Like, stop, that's enough.
Stop simping,
So, basically, Ariel converted to Judaism and moved to Israel. That's some background for you.
Are you asking me? You telling me?
She asked you why you're not offering the information fast enough for my liking. You're too slow. So ask you a clear question. You should have included that in your explanation.
Why are we concerned about your...
his precious belongings and brought them to the
I don't know what you said. You muted early. But Soul, I hope that answered your question.
I said, why are we concerned about your likings in regards to my life? Why is that important?
I can do whatever I like. Cry about it.
Yeah, you can, but just because you can doesn't mean that you should.
Son
What's your point, lady?
all's disunion,
I said what I said. Pope, if it's too hard for you to cope with.
of that sun
No, it's okay. It just shows me how much you're interested in me, and I appreciate it.
light over against the realm of darkness and thus making two gods. The ignorant mistakenly apply the term self to the limited.
Palestinian doesn't mean they should. Just because they can kill babies doesn't mean they should. Just because they can steal land that's not theirs doesn't mean you should. Just because they bomb hospitals and snipe people, babies, having dinner with their family, just because they can do it doesn't mean you should.
To me, neither men nor angels may draw nigh, for I am known a seeker concentrated among the striving and not
with your conversion to Judaism, and settling land that is not yours, settling land that's been stolen.
That's so cute.
Yeah, that's so, well, you know what, that's so cute when you can meet God on Judgment Day. That's gonna be so cute for you. Go give,
Right, that's all you got. Anybody else?
No, Ariel. You got nothing. I'm sorry. You have no. Your sense of morality is perverted.
Is it bad? Oh, I'm sorry you feel that way.
No, it's not a feeling. It's a fact.
Lord Randall. Okay, well, I'm sorry that's a fact. That's dictating your life at my son.
So,
Dictating my life. I'm sorry that you mischaracterized.
Dean, let's move on from him because he loves attention.
Oh yeah, you're right. I agree.
I want to hear from Soul.
I'm coming here to talk about the topic of
So you asked Ariel a question. Can I ask you a question? So, like, what's your position on the Palestine and Israel issue? Because you're new here. We want to give you the floor.
I'm not with what Israel has done. I did see what was happening before October 7th. I watched things that were going down during the summer, just before October, and I didn't hear anybody complaining about it. I didn't hear anything on the mainstream media talking about the atrocities that the IDF were doing to the Palestinians. And I never liked Netanyahu for one, because I always seen him as nothing but a warmonger, and he's always wanted to bring America into war with Iran. That was his goal, and I do believe his goal was to get rid of the Palestinians out of Gaza.
Well put, so. This girl, I told you, this girl, she was well informed. Thank you, so. I mean, look at these people that actually search. Not like stupid evangelical guy. He's like, fucking, I am in Israel for 5 years. I have no idea how Nakba happening. I have no shit what's, this lady, she's like, I really appreciate this lady.
So,
I'm not about opinion.
okay, Masin. Okay, thank you for that, Masin. So a little bit of my internet went out. I caught the tail end of what you said. So forgive me if you already mentioned this, but can I ask, like, what, like, informed you on, like, what's actually going on? Is there a specific, like, media that you watched or a book that you read? Like, what informed you?
Oh, I've been knowing about what's going on in Israel for years. I had followed Netanyahu. I remember him coming to the States and saying, just spreading his propaganda and basically trying to get America, and he's always been doing this, he's always trying to get America into war with Iran. So I have followed him. I have followed the things that happen in the Middle East. So I basically know. And I knew about the settlement from World War II and how they had taken the land from back then. So I've been following stuff since then.
Quickly, if you guys can hear me, Soul, I think I've been following you for a while. I've heard you speak in other rooms on different topics. You're very well-rounded. So Soul's one of those people that I really appreciate because she can speak on various topics with a lot of facts. So I think you are a well-rounded person. I think that really helps in understanding various parts of the world. Even just some of the rooms I've been with you with Andrew's house and whatnot, talking about religion, etc. You're just extremely well-rounded, so I'm not surprised of your position because it understands the entire situation holistically. We'll come to the conclusion.
Thank you.
But so.
Then we have morons like Ariel. Then we have morons like the other, whatever the fuck his name was. What was his name? Joe. What was his name again?
Juho.
No, Yuho, whatever his name was.
No, I'm not gonna look like that. But she got a nose, not.
They all look like Jamaican Jehovah's.
What you making your Cobras? You look like a Yoruba. You look like a Yoruba. I think you're a passport, bro.
Polarized politics is a little difficult. That's my answer back to the politics.
Dude, you're lucky I'm not stood in front of you. I'd shit on your shoes.
Just to summarize, I just want to point out this one insult that was particularly hilarious, which was swallowing without burping. That goes to James.
Okay.
Oh, really did that. You're free.
Look at it.
Shut up, Jacob.
You're not smart enough to pull this off. Don't do this to yourself. I haven't even begun to start.
I just don't know enough about you to get the digs in, right? I'd have to follow
ask
you.
me any
On the
question,
surface,
I'll give you an answer.
Well, are you gonna come up with something original, or are you gonna retool something already? Like, are you gonna actually say something
Why don't you just attack me? Don't focus on what I'm saying to you.
I am attacking you, because you sound like you just fuck this guy over. He's gonna read a bathroom book on where other people's jokes are, and then
all you're doing is behaving like a
this guy
butthurt bitch.
Has he ever twisted
that's all
something
you're
on
doing.
his
All
own
I'm hearing
and
is
come up with
butthurt. You know what you need to
original
do?
or did his
You know
dad
what you
take
need
him
to do?
behind the woodshed and beat the joke into him? No, this is how you end the joke. You end it with they eat sperm and you take them
Why would I
behind the
talk to
woodshed.
trash like you when I can just beat you? Why would I talk to you when beating your ass up is more useful?
However you want to
Why
kill
would
time,
I need to talk to you?
you know? I mean, I guess that's how people are killing time in their room tonight.
Is there anything you're gonna complain about? Did your uncle make you sit on his lap or something? What's
just
up?
want to have funds. See, that was the comment there funnier.
You the girl wants to have fun.
And Frank's
I
face
will
looks so
fold you
much
up
different
like a
now.
cheap
He looks
Chinese.
like a corrections
I'm
officer.
smarter than you. I can clean your clock and I'll make your mother
clean my
shake like a
kitchen and
California
my
boy.
Clean.
And then I'll move on to your wife and I'll make your wife bark like a dog. How about that?
She's already a dog. She's
How about
already
that? Ain't nobody scared of you. At least I'm not. 100% I'm not.
scared of me. What?
Samoa, hurry up and move.
Well, you're not. I'm not really nervous of you coming over to fuck my dog.
Anybody have the
Note, I'm not talking to Michael like that. Michael is a man that I deeply respect. And not because of his skin color, but because of his demeanor. Michael is a man that I respect. I'll never respect.
Right. Yeah,
I'll never respect
because
you.
I'm not part of playing to the averages.
No,
like,
I'll
get
never
to the
disrespect
norm,
you,
act
Michael, and I never
normal.
will.
You're gonna lose
He's
our
a good
shit.
man.
Us,
He's a good man. He's an honorable man.
play to the
You not so
average.
much.
I bet you have an
thanks,
average-looking haircut,
No, I mean that, Michael. You're a good man.
and you, James, are
You
the
are like
most
a dark
average
broken wannabe,
individual
but much more
that is
feminine.
trying to lose his shit. Like, you
I'm
are
not
so
losing my shit
fucking
on anything.
bored.
I'm making
so
fun of
fucking
you. I'm making
average.
fun of you in your mother tongue, and there's fuck all you can do about it. I speak Dutch every day, and yet I'm talking about
Somebody
wrapping your
found one
ass around
thing
the
that he
phone.
said, and they thought it was funny, and so far I'm just like, God, is this guy from the 80s? Is he kicking out like 80s
born
jokes
in
from
the
the 60s?
1960s. How about that?
This
I
no
was born in the
nuts.
mid-60s, so I'm not from the
Yeah,
80s
that's
now.
what you're saying sounds like a rerun. You
Does
sound like
anybody
you're
does anybody follow the Talking Apes? And can they ping me into that room?
I didn't hear that. Can you repeat that, Inca?
James needs to go to the talking.
Anybody follow the Talking Room, the Talking Ape room?
Yeah, what's going on there right now?
Can you go there and can you ping me there? Can you add me up or like ping me there?
Why are you asking about other rooms? Fucking. Let me check it out.
Jacobus, I gotta hear shit. I gotta hear shit from you, you pedophile.
Maybe I'll try to find a link.
Incan, there's a Talking Apes room, but there's only one person in there. It's just like the.
Let him go. Let him go. You want to be
Probably Torres in there crying about a crossword.
No, I'm just trying to find somebody named Bob. I'm just trying to find somebody named Baba Yaga. He's like really good with cars, and I have some questions for him. So if there's only one person,
He's not in there.
His name is Boris.
Some heat and ink in an argument the other day. My dad is a mixed guy, even if he looks black. That's the text that just came up.
Samoa, hurry, they're coming. Hurry, how's up? They're coming.
Who's coming on you, Jacobus?
And it tells you what if the way that you treat the women, it is like. Go ahead, Lincoln. You and Jacobus can have a nice day.
You can just go back to being a prison wife, Ike. That's all you're good for.
What happened, Jacobus? What were you saying?
I eat Germans like you for kraut lunch. You're fucking nothing. You're like a leftover numbnuts wherever you're from.
Is it just me, or does Jacobus? You ever seen those like murder, like real life crimes when they're breaking down the crime and they put the picture of the suspect who just did like just killed somebody, Doesn't Jacobus look like that? Like that's the picture they would use as a suspect? Because you're always looking for unflattering images.
You know what Jacobus is good for? The only thing Jacobus, like when he walks around, what his function is like a fucking, like a Hoover on steroids. Have you seen the size of that bitch's nostrils? Shit. Jacobus is a fool that comes here, offers people, you want my analysis? No, but he still tells you.
So you
right?
protect women
in
your race.
I play chess.
And that's it. Like, I'm going to protect my women.
Play chess as well. There's nothing grand about chess.
Let me tell you the analysis.
Analysis.
And James is too afraid to lose chess to Jacobus, so he won't do it.
I'm
and
not
then he'll
afraid
sit
of
here and posture for fucking hammer. Then fucking download it.
I don't hear the cards.
See what
I
happens.
don't hear the cops.
If Jacobus can whip your ass, but not why do you fear a
I'm not
chess
scared of
game?
anything. I'm not
You
scared
were
of
the biggest
anything.
scaredy fucking. But obviously you eat fucking donkey dicks and you lick prison guys' assholes, and now you're projecting on everyone else. I don't know why that have to be like a subject to your stupid
This is
fiction.
what I did. I was talking to a woman, right? And that woman claimed to have her own OnlyFans, right? So I'm talking to her. Okay, it's not my choice. It's not even if you were my girlfriend, I wouldn't be happy about that. But that's whatever you do, you do. To the room. Do you know what the first question, without even saying hello or knowing the woman, do you know what I asked her? So, do you do anal as well? What kind of man said that to a woman? That's fucked up. No, that's fucked up. That's not funny. That's fucked up.
You do anal as well.
Shit, no, that's not good. That's fucking, no, why would you talk to a woman like that?
Come on,
my joke. Like that?
I want to hear my joke.
I'm just not sure. What the fuck? They like the fart.
Well, not for another 2 hours.
This is the way he always talks. That's why he's our room bitch. That's why we treat him this way, because this is how he always acts.
Oh damn, that was some freaky shit. She said that from some domination shit.
Damn.
Jacobus, chill out, Jacobus. No more sex talk from you, bro. We good.
Nigga, go ask Baba Yaga how to fix your little Tonka toy, nigga.
Jacobus is the type of person who knows the age of consent of every state. That's all I'm gonna say.
Nigga, you look like Hector the Molester. Look at your mustache. It's not
Motherfucker, not you with the fucking real crime story fucking subject photo. Not you, bro. Holy shit, bro. It's like this man has touched 17, 14-year-olds. Like, bro, not you. That was a self-conscious choice to put that PTR up.
Nigga, you look like the cousin that be touching kids. Look at your face.
Jacobus, you look like the creepy uncle, Jacobus, who drives around in a fucking Chevy Cruze around apartment buildings right after the kids leave school and wants to play soccer with them, bro. That's the type of shit you do, bro. What the fuck are you talking about, Jacobus?
Controversial. I mean, it was part of what he did.
Well played, Deacon. Well played. Burn.
It bothered me. I always thought he was.
Truthfully, Jacobus, is there anything that you are good?
There's one good thing about marriage, I won't deny. All right, there's one really good thing about marriage. The best thing about marriage is that these are connected. They don't come off. Because if they did, your wife would take it as soon as you got married. She'd go, you're married now, you won't be needing that. If you want this, it'll be in my purse or in the refrigerator. You're going out of town with your friends? You can just leave that here. Oh, they do it, man. They do it in a fucking minute. Are you kidding me? Shit. You see all these guys on the phone going, hello, guys? Yeah, listen, I got to cancel out. I'm not going to be able to go with you. That sounds like a lot of fun. I can't go. She's got my dick! Yeah, she won't give it to me. I talked to her all day about it, and she said no. Yeah, she's pissed off. I tried to sneak out of the house with her this morning. I was halfway out the drive, and she came running out of the house, and I had to give it to her right there in the street. Okay. Okay, I'll ask her. Hold on. Honey, it's the guys. Yeah, they just called to say that they're all taking theirs. But I was just going to take mine because, everybody else taking theirs. They didn't want to stand out or nothing. I was going to... Okay. Then she said no. She said, no fucking way the dick stays here. Yeah, you do me a favor? If you see me working on the yard next week and stuff and around the house, do me a favor? Kill me. Kill me, my friends. Do you love me? Do you remember when I was a man and I controlled my own destiny? Kill me! Kill me! Shoot me in the fucking face! I want to die! I beg for death!
He had a style, and it was a crazy. Well, he was a genius, and he really was just absolutely great.
I just remember him being off on some profane, verse, post-sacrilegious diatribe.
Who is this rotund, kind of crazed individual prancing the stage?
His voice, his appearance, the long jacket, the beret.
Beret and the trench coat.
He had this overcoat. He looked like one of the James boys.
I just fell in love with the guy right away.
He didn't take no prisoners.
You had huge heart, big heart, very funny, outrageous.
I just thought he was hilarious.
It was all eyes and that mouth, even all those caricatures that they had of him, especially the first several years, were...
There's someone who's gonna scream for you.
Scare you. Well, people go, I see people like the front of actually frightened.
But he's scared to paying attention.
I used to tell him, I said, man, if you ever get in a happy relationship, your comedy's over. It was both menacing and lovable at the same time.
He was a very funny man.
HBO special was one of the best HBO specials I had seen by anybody.
He was the voice of outrage, I think, that speaks inside of all of us about having to hold back, having to be socially acceptable.
I've been caught in an affair before. It's no fun, but you figure after you admit it, all right, I did it. Just let, women are never satisfied. It's never enough to just go, I cheated on you, I'm sorry. So I'm gonna, did you fuck her? Did you fuck her? How many times you heard that one, guys? To go, yes. Yes, I did. You think that's the end of it? Then like a day later, it's like, did she suck your dick? Tell me, you cheating son of a bitch!
If it's taboo and it's the truth, it's really fun.
And Sam tapped into that vein, and people love that. It's ballsy, They want to see it come from the heart, and they want to hear it, even if it's dirty or controversial.
I mean, it was part of what he did, and I accepted it, and it never bothered me. I always thought he was terrific.
I sat her down. I said, listen, I got to tell you the truth. I've had like 8 affairs on you in the last year, and I feel real bad about it. And I don't blame you for breaking up with me. If you want to break up with me, break up with me. I wouldn't blame you. And I felt like such a fucking jerk, you know? She's crying. Don't go. Don't go, you know? And I'm hearing this, and I'm like, I can't believe this. This is love. This woman's going to forgive me. It's going to be better than it ever was. I'm going to be a good man. This woman has convinced me love is real. People can forgive each other and go on unaffected, man. I really got into it. I came home. I was the nicest guy. I didn't cheat anymore. I felt so good about myself. And in 4 months, this fucking vicious bitch. Yeah, I didn't hear the last part when she was crying. It said, don't go, because I haven't got you back yet. I didn't hear that part, and, so I'm this, you know, I'm Mr. Nice Guy. I'm buying this fucking bullshit. It's gonna be the same as it ever was, yeah. She forgave me, yeah. I'm in New York. I gotta fly back to LA. I can just now talk about this. I'm flying. This was 2 years ago. Oh, I remember the fucking day! I'm flying back from New York. It's 2 years ago. I did drugs then. Oh, they see through me. They see through me. All right, so I'm flying from New York. I'm trying to relax myself because I know it's going to be 5.5 hours flight, you know, so I'm high. Shit, you know, smoked a couple joints. I'm seeing Aztec temples and shit, you know. I'm wandering around the Newark airport going, where's gate 56? Want me to gate 56. And this wonderful woman, she packed my luggage for me. And in my bag, she packed a loaded 38. So this vicious little fucking bitch that forgave me and everything's gonna be the same. So I'm going through customs, you know, or whatever the X-ray thing. I walk through the box, nothing's going on. Wait for my bag. All of a sudden, he's got a gun! He's got a fucking gun! So I'm turning around here. I'm going, I'm going to see some real shit, man. So, somebody's trying to smuggle a gun through her. I turn around. There's 4 federal officers going, you want to step away from the luggage rack, please, sir? Step away from the luggage rack! So I'm looking around, I'm going, no! That fucking whore! Oh yeah, she forgave me, yeah! Oh, I cheated on her a little bit, sure. One night stands, nobody knew, but I didn't have to go to federal prison! For 7 years, I could be some guy's roommate and put on a dress and shoes and dance!
There are many great talents around, great comics who think great and do great things, but they don't have the attitude, the presentation of Sam with that voice.
I think bottom line is that Sam had a mesmerizing voice, was an incredible speaker.
Look at you! Twins, nasty fucking little twins. God. Oh, you're cruel! You're a cruel bastard sometimes! I love women, man. I always have loved fucking women. Well, it was tough, folks. You know, I'm a comedian. I'm in show business. And I'd be working at the club, you know. Women wait for you after the show, and they come up to you and they go, you know, I know you have a girlfriend, so we'll be real discreet. We'll go to my house. You know, what do you know about it? We'll get high. We'll light some incense. I'll light a couple candles. And I'll give you head while you read aloud out of a book of 100-year-old erotic stories. You know anyone, yeah? Well, I'd like to go, but, you know, my girlfriend's on her period, and she's home worried about the Cablevision bill, so I'm going to go and be a sexual disappointment there, but thanks. Thanks for that exciting offer, but I'm going to be a good boyfriend and go home. Yeah, sure, folks, come on. Come on, I just got out of the ministry. I wanted to taste it all!
You touched a deeper chord than most comics do. Most comics, you know, it's cute, it's funny, it's this or that, but I think Sam really was, on a different plane.
You think there's anything left inside you
A different rocket ship.
that has any good to it, that can shine a light into somebody's lost way? Do you think if you had to, if your soul was riding on the line, and you had to testify, and you had to make a commitment, if it was a final answer, what would you do? Well,
Check-in time is 3.
It's 2:55.
I know.
This President's Day, feel the freedom to style your space with modular sectionals starting at $6.90.
my mom and dad they went independent, came to Peoria and started their own church with preachers that were kicked out of the Church of God. Basically, thought my dad was too controversial for their doctrine. And they went independent, came to Peoria and started their own church, which is where all my mother's family lives, so kind of like she came home.
From what I remember, Sam's background was his family were evangelists.
He understood the Bible, he understood deeper spiritual things, but he spoke from the heart, and I think his humor came from the heart, and it wasn't necessarily an act.
Sam was raised very religiously. He was raised as an evangelist. He used, I think, their technique to draw people in.
Sam was born December the 8th, 1953, which was like 3 weeks before my mom and dad's life falls apart in the ministry. Then they end up in a divorce, and Sam was, I guess he was 10 at the time. So it was very traumatic for him. Yeah, stick with me because it gets real complicated. But before I was your little son, before I was your baby, your dependent, I was a free spirit in the next stage of life. I walked in the cosmos, not imprisoned by a body of flesh, but free in a body of light. I knew all things. There were no questions, only answers, no weaknesses, only strength. I was light. I was truth. I was a spiritual being. I was a God, but you had to fuck and bring my ass down here. And call you up, say, please have me. Can I work at Winchell someday? I had that shit. You fuck, you had me. Now you want me to pay my own way. Fuck you. Pick up the fucking check, Bobby. I think one of the first real changes in Sam's life, he was 3 years old. We was living in the projects there in Peoria. And I was in school. It was really a weird deal because I was in school. I heard this ambulance siren, and I knew they were going to get Sam. I didn't know how. I just knew that something had happened to him. And what had happened is he was playing and had followed a ball out in the street, and a semi-truck hit him. And he ended up with 30% brain damage and grand mal epilepsy, which no one except the immediate family ever knew. None of his wives ever knew that he was epileptic, and never had any seizures, although they said around the age of 40, which he's very fearful of, that he would start having these seizures. And but it totally changed his personality. Up to that time, he's a very passive, laid back, at 3 years old, very passive, very laid back. And next thing you knew, he's aggressive. And I remember when they brought him back from the hospital, I thought they'd switch kids on us. I really did. I thought the real Sam was still at the hospital somewhere, and we had a new Sam here. He had went back to wetting the bed, which he did till he was 15 years old. He started drooling again, things that he would have done as a child. But I also think was probably responsible for a large part of the comedic genius later on in him, because he's unpredictable. In his mind, he knew where he was going. Nobody else knew where it was going. I know they messed around with this guy's book. I read the Bible. I know they messed around with this guy's book. They did, man. The guy was under too much stress. He could heal. That's a pain in the ass.
His subject matters were wild.
The sick will find you wherever you go. If you can heal, you've got a new full-time job, folks.
But the wildest thing was his presentation.
they'll find your ass. You can't take a piss. You go, Jesus! Are you in here? You got a minute to look at this? Blind guys are going to go, where is he? Where is he?
People didn't believe this man. He said he was a preacher. And I believed him. Nobody could be like that if he wasn't a preacher.
So you know this guy had those days. It's just like, oh man, you know, the leper minutes. Go on!
He ran away from home at the age of 14. We never saw him for 2 years. Didn't know if he's alive or dead, even though our father did, but he never told us. That was the deal that he had with my dad, is that as long as he wouldn't tell any of the rest of the family where he's at, he'd stay in touch, and he did.
Jesus had a tough life. I read about that guy. Jesus is the only guy that ever came back from the dead that didn't scare the fuck out of everybody, man. He's the only guy that ever crawled out of a grave where people didn't go, oh, ah! Oh, I just saw some fucker crawl out of this grave! I don't believe I'm seeing this shit! Did you see that? This guy just crawled out of his box through the earth! People are losing and going, oh, 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 the dead live, the dead live. Get a snake, put a snake in his ass. Get off his head, kill him again. Jesus comes back, he doesn't get any pressure. No static, nobody's upset. He climbs out, he's walking around, nobody's upset. They can eat with him and everything, you know. It's like, isn't that guy dead? Yeah, but he's no stubborn, man. He won't accept it. Pass the butter.
Well, my older brother and I are preaching in Oklahoma City. And we're on the radio. We're in this crusade. We're on the radio. And after the service is over, we get a call from Sam. And he's in Oklahoma City, been hitchhiking across the country. He'd got in, somebody had picked him up and had this radio station on, and he recognized us. And so we picked him up. He was 16 at that time, so we picked him up at the Capitol, and had this ballin', reunion. And then the funny thing is that my mother was in Tulsa, which is where we were going, and he made me call Mom before he would go, make sure everything's right, so she wouldn't kill him or whatever.
We went into church, and his mom said, "Now you're going to preach this weekend." He goes, "Oh yeah, I'll preach." And I'm going, "Wow, this guy's going to preach." Well, the next morning, I wake up in my bed, there's a radio, I turn the radio on, and good morning, listeners. Boy, Lord has something in plan for you if you just wake up and believe in him. And I'm going, that sounds like Sam. And sure enough, they have a radio station in their house, and where his father had his radio show out of, and it was Sam on the radio. And I listened for like 15 minutes, and it was just perfect. It wasn't fake. It wasn't send your money. It was real honest talk about God.
With preaching, you have a lot of, comedy, people just expect you to make them laugh. So preaching, the churches I was in, they expect you to do a lot more, change their lives, heal them, give them the right information about life and God. And that's a heavy responsibility. So yes, it's easier to be a comedian. I've been doing it longer, so I must be having a better time.
It's one thing to stand up in front of a bunch of people at night who maybe are having a couple of drinks and they want to laugh, and that's why they're there in the first place, and they actually get mad at you if you don't make them laugh. It's another thing to go to a place on Sunday morning and to get people to actually open up their wallets and hand you money.
And he also said he started preaching that Jesus wasn't coming back, that he was already here, he was inside you. You had to find him.
I don't preach too much anymore, as far as to myself. God had me go and become a stand-up comic. Amen. So I'm preaching to me too. Amen. Come on. That's where the best word comes from, when you're not afraid to expose, amen, your own flaws and examine yourself. That's how you get delivered. You get delivered by this. Also, what can defile a man can deliver a man. David did the reverse of that scripture. David delivered himself. He preached to himself, said, Saul, why are you bound? So also what cometh out of a man can deliver him and procure him. Amen. That'll save you a lot of phone calls, won't it?
We found the formula to teach people how to create more order.
Sean Combs is a monster. I want to speak about this now because I witnessed everything.
Come on, that way if you don't get in touch with Brother and Sister Marty, it'll be all right because you're walking with deliverance inside of you. You can deliver yourself. You can say, well, I didn't get in touch with Brother Rich or Brother Marty or Brother Sam or Brother Bill or Sister Marty, but praise God, I've got the word of deliverance. What am I sitting here for? I can deliver myself. I can change my mood. I can do it about face. God gave that power to me too.
He said they didn't go over too good in the church. He said they were trying to preach fear. And he goes, here I was going, no, don't worry about that. He's already here. He's in here. And what? You mean we don't have to give money every week? Nah.
You know, he'd go, man, that was great tonight. When I go, yeah, you laughed your money right out the back door.
People who come from that kind of background, the evangelical, play to crowds in lots of ways. Were you a serious minister?
Yeah, I was. I just have kind of a relationship with God, you know. It's kind of like Colonel Sanders' fried chicken. It's got several secret herbs and spices.
Why did you leave it? That was a good money maker, wasn't it?
I became disillusioned. I was never into the offering side of it. You know, I'd put out a basket and I'd say, hey, if I blessed you and you want to bless me, here's the basket. I didn't do very well, actually.
You were not a good minister.
No. Well, not financially. I didn't rake in the bugs.
He was definitely, I think, rebelling against the hypocrisy of all those evangelists.
I wish they would understand that people basically, I think, know who Jesus is. Maybe I'm guessing, maybe I'm way out of line here, but I have a good feeling that generally Americans and the people throughout the world know who Jesus is. So it's a little frustrating to keep hearing about how that, you know, we need your dollars, we need your help, because we want people to know who Jesus is. Hey, we know who Jesus is. Get a fucking job.
And he saw how corrupt it was, by the way. You know, because all these guys would, you know, oh, lovely healing hands. I see a 9-foot God. I need your money. Yeah.
Oh, God, don't get me started on that fucking subject. Oh, man. The amusement parts is what killed me. How they scam people into believing that Jesus wants us to build a Ferris wheel. And then, God willing, by this spring, we'll have our own log ride. Hallelujah. For he said, he that believeth in me, yea, shall not be able to ride this ride unless he is over this height. The fuck are they talking about, man? You know. Thought it was something to do with clothe the naked, feed the hungry, you know, shelter the homeless. No. No, God wants us to have a mall with 104 stores in it, so people don't have to shop with the sinner and the unbeliever. They can come and shop with only Christians. God's mall. If you're like, that makes sense to me. I'm writing out a check.
When you deal with comedians, people sort of bring a backstory with them when they come to Los Angeles. Some may be true, some may be fake. I always heard that about Sam. It wasn't until later I found out it was true.
Like a preacher, he got you right there where he wanted you, and then he cut it loose.
I read the resurrection story. If you ever have some chance, if you ever have a time to read this, what an amazing story.
You know, you think you're standing on safe ground, and all of a sudden the floor falls up from under you.
Guy's dead for 3 days. He comes back, you know. None of his friends shook up about it. He comes back with a whole new message and shit. You know. I'm reading this, and it's an exciting story, but I read it and I thought, I know Jesus was never married. Guy never had a wife. No, was never married. Because no wife would buy this story in 100 years. The disciples will, the believers will. No wife would buy this fucking story. Good luck. Good luck with this story. First of all, he leaves on Friday afternoon with 12 other guys. He's gone for 3 days. No message. No way to get in touch with her. He comes home Monday afternoon looking like he hasn't slept. Looks like he's partied out, man. And Mrs. Jesus is just waiting on, oh, okay, I get to stage 3 of this shit. All right. Well, I'm glad you could find your way home.
Bark like a dog, but I decided not to. Ibrahim, don't lie on me.
Chess with right now. I have a lot of car friends. I play Clash Royale, so I have like a Discord where like get to see plan and stuff. But I've been wanting to get back to chess. I have nobody to play with though. So who's gonna motivate me to play chess? Wait, so Boris is Baba Yaga?
smarter than the North. Anybody says, I believe, we put them up and feed them. I'm secular. Where are you at? Jesus is going, I don't need this shit. Not after what I've been through this weekend. No, honey, I'll tell you right now. Come here. Come here. Come here. I'll tell you right now. First of all, not that it ruined your weekend any, but I was dead! Do you understand that, you fucking bitch? I was dead! While you were sitting here on your ass, I'm in a grave outside of town. I'm fighting death. Hell, decomposer. I'm about to come in a spiritual form and go into the kingdom of God and go, wait a second. I better go back because she doesn't know where I've been. So now I gotta fight the angel of death, get my fucking soul back, crawl out of the grave, come over to this shit because I missed you, honey!
Now, the method he chose was anger, but he could have appealed in lots of ways. His method was anger. What I liked about Sam was that was an honest anger.
People are going, man, aren't you afraid to tell jokes like that? Don't you have just a small chill that runs through your fucking blood when you tell a story or jokes like that? No. No, folks, because I'm not worried about hell. You know, does anybody go to hell? No. Because I was married for 2 fucking years! Hell would be like clubbing! Hell would be like a fucking resort, man.
And you left it, why? Because it wasn't proving fruitful?
Well, I got a divorce. And it was like 1978.
In the ministry, that is it. Man, you can be a homosexual. Nobody will think anything. You can be a con man, a sham, or anything else. Fine. You get a divorce, that's like the death knell.
He said that a preacher couldn't preach after getting a divorce because here you are teaching wisdom and strength and spiritual strength to a flock, and yet you can't handle your own marriage.
And I sat my family down Christmas time. I said, I'm leaving the ministry. And they thought I was going through a phase. And they said, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to be a comedian. They went, yeah, sure. I said, no, really, I'm going to try to be a stand-up comic. I think I can make people laugh. I've made them laugh in church. And if you can make people laugh in church, you can make them laugh anywhere, I think.
First time that Sam had ever been successful in his life was in comedy in Houston, Texas.
He wore a suit on stage. His hair was real short, and he knew how to wear a suit. Now, I was 20 years old, so he would have been 26. But he carried a power with the suit. And, I mean, at that point, I didn't even know how to tie a tie yet, And I said, wow, this guy's carrying something a little bit different. So when he got off stage, I go, where'd you get the suit? And he goes, oh, I was a preacher for years. I got a ton of these. And I go, oh, really? So he explained to me how he could take a crowd over and stuff because he knew how to walk right up there and go, oh, yes, God's got something for you today,
Sam's in Houston. He's doing all this, I don't know, he really doesn't have a lot of material, but he's funny.
One night he said, watch what I'm going to do tonight. He went on stage and he started doing his act. And this is in Texas now. There's like 60 seats in a small club. And a lot of cowboy hats. The boys wouldn't take their hats off. They'd sit right up front, have their cowboy hats on. They'd be judging you. Come on, be funny. Come on.
You got to remember you're in Houston, Texas. I mean, you got like shit kickers, everything else down there. Here's a guy from Illinois.
He goes, you guys had a great night tonight.
This phone is not performing very good.
A guy from Illinois.
He goes, you guys had a great night tonight. You've seen a lot of comedy. Never expected this to happen.
The guy would be there with his date. Sam would jump off stage, throw the guy on the floor. There with his cowboy boots and jeans, and start humping him, homosexual raping the guy.
Grab the guy and throw him on the floor and just start hunching on him. He goes, you never thought you'd be homosexually raped right in the middle of a show, did you?
And everybody just be dying. I'd go, dude, one of these days somebody's just going to beat the crap out of you. But I think he was so intimidating on stage that even the cowboys didn't want to mess with him.
And of course, the place would go nuts, and everybody would come back the next week to see that crazy guy who would rape the 300-pound cowboy in the front row,
And he's there about, I would say maybe 3 months. And Rodney Dangerfield comes and plays at the Civic Center.
I first met Sam. I was doing a show in Houston, Texas, and when the show was over, they said, I'm going to go to a comedy club in town. The comedy club, and Sam was one of 4 comics working there.
Rodney, as he would back in those days, and Sam did later on, really from what Rodney did for him, is he'd go to the local comedy clubs. Well, he came over to the Comedy Annex. It so happened that when he's there, Sam's on stage.
He was young and raw and everything else, but he was by no means a finished product.
I know a lot of comics, well, they try to make an impression and try to get the audience to like them, and I think that's important. Some comics. But me, I take a little different approach. So I have a different outlook on life than most people you're going to see up here tonight. You know what you people are going to have in common? What? You're going to wish to God you never saw me.
And then he'd say something that made you understand, accept that.
Just walk out here unified and with one thought, I wish to God I never saw him! You will beg God to forget my face!
But you can hear that scream of his, you know.
People were talking about him like, hey, there's this guy who screams, he's really funny.
There wasn't just a scream, there was substance.
But even the show was over, though, I asked to speak to him for a couple of minutes. He came over and joined me at the table, and we talked a while, and even then he was like something weird, even though he was very young and not developed at all, you know.
Said, hey, all women can't be that way. There's some good ones out there somewhere. There's some women that know what it means to commit, to be faithful, to be one in love, engulfed in passion. But you know what? I haven't met any like that yet. All I have met are whores, liars, bitches from hell.
Oh, I think it was shock value, but nevertheless, it still said something.
The only kind that turned me on.
The deal back then was pretty much, you know, you don't say shit, you don't say fuck, you don't say any of these words. I mean, you know, it's clean. All that going on. Sam's the wrong guy. He got out of church, man, and it's like, you know, he's got this newfound liberty now. You can say fuck, and nobody's going to go, oh, man. And he found out people laugh at it. It was cheap laugh, but they laugh at it.
He got kicked out of the club for starting a riot. And one night, he weighed 240 at the time, and he was trying to lose weight, conscious of his weight. And they had a real cheap little stool back in those days on this particular stage, and we'd almost broken it one night in doing a sketch. Well, they didn't replace it, and so Sam went up to sit on it after a full night of comedians. He's seen everyone else sit on this thing. He went up and sat on it, and it cracked and broke. Well, it embarrassed him, and he jumped up and he goes, "This cheap stuff, why do they even have it?" And turns around and starts hitting the wall with this stool. Well, with that, everybody else jumps up, and they throw their stools up against the wall, and the place goes nuts. Well, it was a great excuse for management to kick him out of the club.
Sam decides, you know, he's been there 2 years. He's been he's voted the comedian of the year both years he's been there for the state of Texas. So he thinks LA's going to be a walk. He'll be out here 6 months at the most, and he'll be on top. He comes to LA, and he finds out what a real ass kicking is. He runs into Mitzi Shore at the Comedy Store and tells him, "You're not funny. You're just not funny, but you can be a doorman if you want."
His impression of my first 4 years at the Comedy Store. Hi, table for 4, follow me. That's all we did was set people. We hardly ever got on stage. Sam and I had this scam because we would have to walk like 7 miles to the Comedy Store every night. We lived in some apartment buildings that were on the other side of Laurel Canyon. We'd have to walk all the way across the hill and down and hope to make some money so we could eat that night. So we had a scam worked out the door where we'd come with like $5 or $6 in our pocket together. One of us would take it, walk a group to a table, and come back while, let's say, Sam was standing at the door with another group of 4. I'd walk up and go, "Sam, here's your half of the tip." And people would think, "Oh, we have to tip the doorman." That's how we made money. You know, we'd survive, and we'd come across with $15, $20 at the end of the night and go, "We've got cat fare home. We don't have to walk."
He was just kind of the screaming doorman at the time. And then he became a comedian from that. It's fascinating to watch people grow from these beginnings because you go, what's wrong with this guy? Why is he screaming all the time?
He yelled. And then the subject matter was something else, you know. He went everywhere. I mean, he took you through it all. A trip he did.
You know, it wasn't even performing at the very beginning. It was just sort of screaming. He would get up there and scream, but the fact that it was so intense and that it wasn't fake, it was fascinating to watch, you know, because a lot of people will put on an act, and if they're not very good, I mean, if it's not real, you know, it's a gimmick. It looks like a gimmick. But Sam would get up there in the same way, well, I don't know if it's a good analogy now, but when a child just sort of screams, it's obviously screaming for a reason and it can't express it. And Sam would get up there and just, my girlfriend, I could just start screaming. She took it all! That fucking bitch! She took my act! I was married for 2 years! I didn't show up my bridal scream! But he didn't say a joke or anything, but it would be very funny because it was obviously so real. Now, this guy is obviously in some incredible mental anguish, and you would watch it for that reason. And, of course, later he learned how to put the jokes together and make routines out. He was divorced at that time. Then I guess it would have been 84 that he had been married for about a year or so. And he married a woman that wanted to have a normal lifestyle and assumed that he was going to be a normal guy. I went to pick him up one afternoon, and he lived in an old apartment building. I just went to knock on his door, and I heard dishes flying in. What? Screaming and hollering. Oh, yeah. And so I just waited for a minute. And then he came out of the door flying, and he goes, oh, I'll be right with you. It was like a cartoon. And it was funny for 5 minutes, and then I realized the guy's really serious. He's fighting for his life in there, man. He comes to the Comedy Store, and he comes on like 2 o'clock in the morning because Mitzi don't want to put him on with everybody else. And so, but he has such a following that she puts him on last. He goes on stage, and he talks 2 minutes, and then he asks this kid in the front row, you ever been married? You ever think about getting married? Well, if you ever think about it, remember this face.
You ever been married? What's your name? Mike? Mike, if you ever think about getting married, if you ever think I've met the right woman, I want to settle down, this is her, I want to change my life. Mike, do me a favor, will you? Remember this face. Because if you get married, Mike, that's going to be your fucking face, pal. Every day you wake up, you look in the mirror, you go, what did I do? What did I do?
He connected with the pain and horror of rejection and isolation.
Because he's a man, obviously, he's dealing with these women issues from a man's point of view. And that, you know, he was in hell in these relationships. One of my favorite things that he said was after he broke up with someone that he really loved, and then she would keep calling him. You know, she would keep calling him, but not to go out, just to use him for an emotional tampon.
Rodney Dangerfield enters the picture again. And Rodney is getting ready to do either it's the first annual or second annual Young Comedian Special. And he's already got it all cast, but he happens to be at the Comedy Store. Sam's up, and he decides he wants Sam to, he's going to bump somebody, which to this day, Rodney's never told myself or Sam who he bumped.
And I was doing an HBO show then, and I said to him, be on the HBO show with me, you know?
Sam never did contests, because he never would have won one. You know, with this kind of comedy, you never won it. You never would have won a comedy contest. So Sam tells him, said, I don't do contests. You know, Rodney's going, I want you to do this HBO showcase. No, I don't do contests, right? Rodney calls me. And he goes, hey, you know, your brother's missing a good chance out here. You know, I'm talking to him, and he won't do this thing. I go, Rodney, he doesn't do contests. And I'll never forget Rodney going, what the fuck is it with you guys, man? It's not a goddamn contest.
And he said, I can't do it. He says, because the way I'm working, he says, I need time. He says, I can't cook in 6 minutes. I need 15 minutes before I can cook, you know?
But Sam would start off really slow and just draw it out before he got going because he didn't have 25 minutes yet.
So I said to him, I says, no. I says, you can cook right away, man. You don't have to wait no 15 minutes. What? You got to start in. You're going to start in right away, you know?
I looked at World Hunger Realistic. I go, wait a second, I need to solve this shit. I got a weekend free. I'll solve it. You know the problem is, World Hunger? We've been sending them food. Go on in, World Hunger. Stop sending them food. Send them U-Hauls, luggage, some buses, some public confrontation and send a spokesman out and go, nobody ever called our country smart, but we're not dumb, all right? And it just occurred to us that we've been doing this for like 60, 70 years, bringing in pizza and fucking donuts and shit out here every day, making the trip. And today we thought we'd do something different. Yeah, we thought we'd put your fucking ass on the truck and take you to where the food is. Because you live in a desert. See the shit is sad. You live in a desert. What's going to be 100 years from now? It's going to be a...
Okay, that's we've been listening to the Sam Kinison documentary. I think there's like a lot of overlay with current media, current comedy stand-up, and then Clown House, because I think a lot of people want to be funny, and they do view it as like stand-up comedy on here or public speaking comedy, but like very tiny percentage. It's mostly just a bunch of dumb people talking about nothing, wasting their time.
Sam is kicked out of his house here in LA and is on the streets when it shows on HBO. But he immediately went from $35 a night to $12,000 a night. Never really ever did the comedy club circuit. I mean, he basically went straight from the Comedy Store to venues. Off of that 6 minutes on HBO. But I mean, everybody remember. They remember the yell.
For some reason, I bring out something to people. They just can't come up and go, I enjoy your work. You're a funny guy. It always has to be,
I remember we had so hard for he and I to get used to because we went to Vegas right after he hit. That's how they'd all greet him. So we'd be on the escalator at the Caesar's Palace or something. And guys come up behind you and just scare the shit out of you going, ah! You're like, oh, God, what the hell's going on here?
One by one, as the cars would come out of the parking lot and go past him, people would roll down their windows and like scream at him.
There's a 65-year-old man and his 65-year-old wife on the elevator, and they're both standing there listening to these 3 or 4 people talk about the gig, and then they look over and the old man goes, hey, aren't you the guy that... You're the... He goes, why couldn't I came up with a mime bit that made me famous? Hey, aren't you the...
A mall is scary. Going to a mall is scary because it just like, it echoes. And people go, what's that screaming about? Hey, Tim!
It's funny.
I thought one of the gems of his career was when he hosted Saturday Night Live.
Which was the week that John F. Kennedy had been shot. It was the anniversary, I believe it was, or Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King's death was the week that Sam was on Saturday Night Live as a comedic guest.
Did you ever notice that? If he tries to change the world, it really helps it. We fucking shoot on him. Started with Jesus, probably even before that, I don't know. And Abraham Lincoln, right? You free to? Anybody tries to help, I swear to God, look at history. Anybody tries to bring peace and love in the world, their new name is Target. Your new name is Target, all right? It's true, look at Gandhi, right? Gandhi, he tried to change his world. But what do we have for him, Johnny? Sadat, remember Sadat, right? He was going to change the Middle East. He was going to bring peace to the Middle East, something that hasn't been done in 1,000 years. He said, yeah, Sadat, listen, we're having a parade this morning. Why don't you wear something bright, okay? Yeah, we got some great fireworks for you, pal. You're going to like these. Sit down real fucking close to the front. It's true. Anybody's ever tried to help, right? The Kennedys, Martin Luther King. I have a dream! Oh, shit! I have a fucking head wound! Thanks a lot! It's true. Anybody tries to help me shoot him, man. Everybody, man. Fucking John Lennon, right? Everybody tries to help me shoot him. That's why they only wounded Reagan.
But I think the infamous show that everybody's probably going to remember is when he got censored.
I was paying off Saturday Night Live once, and then they asked for that 2 weeks later to host.
They want him to cut 2 routines. And one is the war on drugs.
I said if, they wanted to get people to stop smoking crack, to give us our pot back.
And the other was nailing Jesus to the cross on the NBC stage.
I don't know if Jesus has actually spoken in an audible voice to anybody in about 2,000 years. I think his last words may have been, "Oh, not the other! Oh, you jerk!
It was just so alive. It was so spectacular. And, he did the bit about, Jesus is on the cross.
30, 40 Christians standing around going, it's a shame that he has to die. And Jesus is going, well, maybe I wouldn't have to. Somebody get a ladder and a pair of pliers.
So I go, what are you going to do? And he says, I'm doing them. And I go, well, just know what the consequences are if you're going to.
Uh-oh, my phone is failing. I didn't know he was like censored and this documentary came out 2 months ago. It may have come out sooner than that, but the YouTube channel that I'm watching.
Do you know you can make your own rap album only with 3 words? With Donna AI, it's easier than ever. I tried this AI photo generator and look which photos I've got.
And he says, I'm doing them. And I go, well, just know what the consequences are if you're going to do it. You're messing with NBC.
He's up in heaven right now. They're going, why don't you go back down to earth? Be a symbol of peace and love for the world. Help. He's going, yeah, sure. Help, huh? Yeah, I'd like to help. Tell him I'll be there as soon as I can play the piano again. Thanks a lot. I mean, the only Savior that can use his hand is a fucking whistle.
And you know that he wasn't supposed to do that. And he went beyond the censors, and that's what made him great.
Brandon Tartikoff, he goes on, in the media, and he goes, Sam Kinison will never work NBC again, everything else. And for one of the few times, Sam listened to me and keeps his mouth shut. I'm going, man, just keep, because everybody wants to interview it. I'm going, just keep your mouth shut. Man, let's get into damage control. If you keep your mouth shut, maybe, everything will work out.
I remember agents talking about, that's the end of him, that's the end of him.
Well, I'm talking to Lorne Michaels off and on, right? And so it gets to the point that Lorne tells me, man, people are sending in shit. And I go, what? They're sending in, bad letters or what? I said, no, they're putting shit in envelopes. They are putting human feces in envelopes and sending it to NBC.
And then he came back, they invited him back, so it just shows, go for the muff, I say. Go for the muff. Don't tone down for these pigs.
Remember I watched his progression. He came on as an act on it once. It was kind of so unbridled that they, since they had lightning in a jar and they made him the host then, everybody was glad to see him because we liked him. But comedians are so competitive anyway. I remember I saw being a little subtly pissed that one of our ilk was now hosting a show we were on.
We are a vicious group. We're nice people, but we're bad. I don't mean no harm, but that's the truth.
There's some difference to the host, and we were having trouble submitting to that yoke with one of our own. That's that feisty little gladiator camp, Saturday Night Live.
You'd see a guy walking around with a foot in his mouth, and you say, well, how did he get that foot? And then you see the guy with no foot, and you go, oh, that's why.
Welcome to Contemporary American History. I'm Professor Turgidson.
Great actor. Sam was a great actor, That's why when I was back to school with me, I put him in there to write a part quick, and he was great in that. He was a great actor, Sam,
A lot of people think history is just facts. It's just information about the past. But not me. I hold history very sacred. Sacred. The way the farmer looks at the earth and he holds it sacred. The way a Christian takes the Bible and he holds it sacred. The way a lot of people hold their marriage sacred. That's how I feel about it. So why don't we dive right in by interpreting one of the easiest events in the last 20 years of American history. Now, can someone tell me why in 1975 we pulled our troops out of Vietnam?
The failure of Vietnamization to impart their support caused an ongoing erosion of confidence in the various American but illegal Saigon regimes.
Is she right? Because I know that's the popular version of what went on there, and a lot of people like to believe that. I wish I could, but I was there. I wasn't here in the classroom, hoping I was right, thinking about it. I was up to my knees in rice paddies with guns and Edward going up against Charlie, slugging it out with it, while pussies like you were back here partying, putting headbands on, doing drugs, listening to the goddamn Beatle albums.
Hey, Professor, take it easy, will you? I mean, these kids, they were in grade school at the time. And me, I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover.
Oh, I didn't know you wanted to get involved with the discussion, Mr. Helper. But since you want to help, maybe you can help me, okay? You remember that thing we had about 30 years ago called the Korean conflict? Yeah, where we failed to achieve victory. How come we didn't cross the 38th parallel and push those rice eaters back to the Great Wall of China and take the brick and nuke them back into the fucking Stone Age River? How come? Tell me why! Say it! Say it!
All right, I'll say it. Because Truman was too much of a pussy wimp to let MacArthur go in there and blow out those commie bastards.
Good answer. Good answer. Not the way you think. I'm gonna be watching you.
That's so funny.
He really seems to care. About what, I have no idea. And you gotta work, I told him, where you can look good. You see, Sam, when he did a show on HBO or Showtime, or a place where you can express yourself, that's what he needed. And when he went to the networks, he was confined. And therefore it created a problem for him, and which he didn't need. He should let himself only work where you look good. And he looked best when he could express himself any way he wanted to, you know.
I guarantee you the first time, every guy in this room, the very first time they had to lick pussy, they were on their own. Was anybody there, guy? No, we were on our own. We didn't know what we were doing. We were bluffing. We hoped it felt good. We hoped it was right. We didn't know. Nobody helps you figure this shit out. We didn't get any pamphlets from the fucking government. Mom and Dad are no fucking roadmap. What are you gonna do? Ask them for sexual advice. Help yourself. Go, Mom, Dad, you know, I met this girl and she's really special. I really wanted to make an impression on her, so I was wondering, could you help me out? How do you lick pussy? Just give me some hints. Give me some other pops I could use, and yeah, sure, help yourself. Nobody helps you, man. You gotta figure this shit out on your own. Women won't help you. Women won't help you. Women won't give you a fucking clue. They enjoy your awkwardness. You can lick a woman's pussy the wrong way for 5 years, and she won't tell you. She won't tell you. No, she just laid there with that sexually frustrated look on her face. Like, she won't tell you. She'll tell everybody else. She'll tell her mom, her girlfriends, her hairdresser, her little sisters, everybody else, man. Well, he does not sense that. He doesn't know my needs. He doesn't know enough to shave and make his face smooth. And he doesn't hold me after I come. But she won't tell you. That's why guys are on their own. That's why I try to help. And I've been through this, folks. I've learned the hard way. Gentlemen, I'm just trying to help. I swear to God. Just trying to help. Fucking A, man. Trying to help. Yo, Sam, how can we do it? How can we do it? No one will help us. Well, this is why I came back, guys. Because most guys don't know what they're doing. They're awkward. We don't know. We have to be shown, ladies. You have to tell us. You have to show us. Most guys lick pussy like they're painting a fucking fence. They don't know what they're doing. They get one stroke with it. The girls go, Jesus Christ, I'm being licked. They're weatherproof. Hey! This is why, guys, I have a secret for you that'll transform you tonight. You walk out here tonight, not just your average person. You guys are gonna want my dream. I'll just be honest here, Kevin. Everybody has a dream. Mine isn't, but